All right, welcome. This is Steve, Navy Vet Cards. In this video, we're going to go over grading companies I recommend, what companies that I've used personally. We'll talk about how long it takes to get your submission back. We'll go through a submission for each one, and we'll see the price differences when you get them back and what you can expect to sold. We'll compare these two to see if they're close or if it's all just kind of rumor that one sells less than the other. So obviously, I'm talking about PSA, obviously the biggest grading company out there, and I'm also talking about TAG. TAG, for me, I love TAG. I think the TAG slabs are beautiful. They looked really nice. All the ones that I have sold at or above PSA comps. I will be honest. I was doing sports cards. I did not do anything with TAG. I did not sell TAG slabs. I didn't buy them. Never even tried to grade them. My buddy Dom tried to get me to use TAG, and I was kind of skeptical. In January, I kind of noticed TAG was getting a little bit more popular. People were starting to like the slabs. I actually bought one and actually held up my hand for the first time. And man, it definitely changed it for me. And then I was also attracted by the time return. It was before the February rush, right? So I submitted all my stuff at the end of January, and like February 6th was my last submission. I submitted 4 submissions to TAG, and I submitted 4 submissions to PSA. So did everybody else. Apparently, TAG was partnering with big Pokemon influencers, and TAG just absolutely blew up, and my stuff got kind of caught in that kind of rush, if you will, for the TAG side. So it took a little bit longer than the 10 business days as advertised. I was a little bummed about that. At the end of the day, I got all my stuff back. I've already sold most of it. I got, I don't know, out of the 80 cards, I still have about 10 left for TAG. And ironically, I can't get rid of the PSA slabs. So some of them, so obviously that's a lot to do with the type of cards that I was submitting. And that's definitely on me. I definitely learned some lessons on that. And I went over that in a previous video, and I'll link it up there. You guys can check out my full scale return. I showed you what I paid for it. I showed you how long it took. I showed the estimated profit, kind of what the cards are worth now, and whether I would do it again. So definitely go check that video out. In this video, let's talk about PSA first. Obviously, you go to PSAcard.com home, go to submissions, and there's a few different changes. Last time I submitted was 45 business days. It is now 65 business days. That is a long time, and we'll go over that. I have the business days calculated up here and how long that would actually take. People hear business days, and they don't really put that in kind of in mind, like how long that's actually going to take to get back. So let's go submission. If you're a first-time submitter, they actually do have an AI submit. You click this button up here. You can do an AI. I didn't mean to say AI. Assisted submission, and they'll kind of walk you through and kind of help you out. I don't think you need it, but you can definitely try it. You can do a classic submission. Obviously, we're doing trading cards, but you can do packs. They do coins and pins, tickets, that kind of stuff. We're going to go ahead and select this, and you can see the different grading services. They do autograph, dual service, view, crossover, reholder. We're going to focus on the grading one for today. Then you can see it right there. So TCG bulk and non-sports card bulk. It's $19 a card, which they did raise the price. When I submitted mine in January, I think it was $16.99 a card. So that definitely sucks. And then you can see there's different kind of tiers, if you will. But either way, anything that has anything to do with value or bulk, you're looking at 65 business days. You can go up a little bit for the value plus. 20 business days is still a month. That's a long time, especially when you're paying $40 a card. If your cards aren't going to be worth, if you're not going to be able to get that money back from those cards, I would not do that, obviously. So definitely keep that in mind when you guys are doing your costs, and don't forget to add the cost of shipping to and shipping back from PSA. That is not included in this cost. And I went over that in the other video that I linked earlier. So we'll focus on doing the bulk submissions. So do 2025 Journey Together. Doesn't really matter what it is. How about Black Star promo? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna select it. If you don't see it, you can add it, right? So if you don't see your card there, you can add it. Let's take that off, and let's search 151 Charizard again. Don't see your item, you can add it manually. All right, and what they'll do is when that gets to the research and ID phase, they will physically research it and they'll put the appropriate. stuff on there. So you can just hit save, and then you can just move on, proceed to checkout. I'm only going to do one for now. It's not going to let me do it because I don't have 20. So you have to have 20 cards in order to check out. I'm not going to sit there and go through that. You literally just go through just like you would on eBay. Hell, you can even copy and paste the title from eBay and put it in here. It'll come up a lot easier. So there's that. So you go through here, you proceed to the checkout. You'll see shipping and billing is next, and then you'll just confirm the order and print it out. Once you're done with the order, it's gonna have you print out some forms. You'll have a customer copy, which will be the last copy, and then everything else needs to go into the form. And you do have to fill out how many cards you're submitting and put them in order. If they're not in order, the PSA will charge you a fee. They will nickel and dime the heck out of you. So make sure you guys put them in order, put everything together, and package it according to the instructions on the website. All right, so 65 business days. So that's 65 business days from the day that they receive it. And by receive, I mean they process it in, not the day that it gets delivered. So even if you ship it, and I did some calculations here just so you guys can get a good idea of what we're talking about. Let's say we shipped it out tomorrow, and it took a few days to get there. Let's give them a little grace. It took a week to get there. This is from June 4th, right? So June 4th, 65 business days, excluding all weekends and federal holidays, because that's what business days mean. You could expect to get your shipment back in September. So when your kids go back to school is when you'll get your stuff back. That is in a long time. That is an incredibly long time. So if you have a lot of inventory, or you're just not starting out, like I was in January, and I submitted off 130 cards at one time, it definitely halted the business. I could not do anything for 2.5 months to get this stuff back. So definitely keep that in mind when you're spinning off cards. That's a long time. 65 business days is a long time. So just keep that in mind. So I just want to give you that kind of outward looking. I mean, it's not just as easy. You can go through GameStop. I have never done GameStop. I don't know that I would trust it. If you want to do that route and you know people, if you know somebody there, you have an experience, you have a relationship with somebody at GameStop and you trust them, go for it. I think it's too easy to do by yourself. It just doesn't make any sense to use GameStop. I will say, if you're only submitting 1 or 2 cards a year, then maybe GameStop's the right amount for you. If you're like me and you're going to be submitting a ton of cards, I would pay for the membership, the annual membership, and just do it. If you're going to use PSA, I don't know that I'm using PSA very much anymore. Let's talk about TAG. So what you're going to do is go to TAG, go to grading, and we'll scroll down. You can see different service levels. They did add a couple of service levels here. When I submitted, I think I was doing the $15 card, 20 card. There wasn't a minimum when I submitted it, but there is now 20 card minimum. So already it's cheaper. This is a value bulk, and we're looking at 45 business days. Okay. And then you got $25 a card. There's no minimum, and you're looking at 30 business days. So 30 business days, you're looking to get your cards back July 18th. That to me is a lot more reasonable than September. That September seems unreasonable for this. So TAG is TAG is different in a few ways. One, with TAG, you have to buy and pay for your submission up front. So you would go up here to submit, and you would purchase whatever you're going to purchase, right? Insured max value that already comes with it. There's a couple more differences I'm going to talk about in just a second. At the $25 mark, they include the card care, which is they'll blow off the card with the air and and they'll clean it up for you before they put it in the slab. So what you'll do is, however many cards you have, you'll purchase 10, right? There's probably some discounts in there. There's always discounts. Go find any influencer and go to their description of their videos. There'll be a 10% code. I don't have one. I'm not that big. Don't ever pay full price if you can help it. So you'll go through that. You'll submit. You'll pay for it, and then you'll come back to your account. You'll log in, and then you'll actually hit the submit button, and then that's where you'll enter all your cards. Just like you did at PSA, you'll check out, you'll print off a form, and then you'll mail that into PSA the same. You mail it into TAG the same way you did the PSA submission. a couple things I want to talk about. Upcharges. If your card is worth a lot of money, let's say an Umbreon or something, and it's worth $1,500, PSA is going to upcharge you. They're going to charge you based on your service level, right? They're going to say that your card is valued. I'm going to go back over here so you guys can see. All right, so the max value, let's say your card's worth $1,500. They're going to charge you $60, even if you submit it at the lower right. So you think you're going to submit in the value bulk, they're going to upcharge you. Tag does not do that. So now PSA is going to take 65 business days because you submitted it at the value plus, which you shouldn't have. If it's an Umbreon, you should be, you probably should be submitting it over here somewhere. And then they're going to upcharge you for the service. So I just, you know what I mean? So anyway, back to tag. All right, so 30 business days get you back July 18th. So a lot of people talk about PSA is king, tag doesn't sell as much. There are vendors, and I specifically want to use the word vendors here. There are vendors who will turn their nose at tag for whatever reason. They'll, I don't want tag. I don't want to do this. Every tag, I told you, I have sold a ton of tag slabs at or above market price, at or above PSA price. So don't take the vendor themselves. I would take it, from an end customer viewpoint. Customers like tag, period. The customer service may not be the best right now. They got backs. They probably weren't ready for the big, thousands, hundreds of thousands of submissions. But their cards sell. Their slabs look good. Let's compare some prices of some key cards. We're going to use 151 as an example because that's been out for a while. A lot of people know the card, and it's been graded a ton. So we can definitely check some good comps. All right, here's some tag 10s. May 4th, 690. April 750. 810 in April. 671 in April. 675 in April. 735 in auctions, right? 760 on May. 690. So you get a good idea of kind of where tag's at. Then you go to PSA. 750, 670, 685, 675. Same. The difference is it's going to take you twice as long to get the PSA slab back, and they're going to charge you more. I don't know why you would want to get PSA your money and have them hold your card for an extra 2 months. It doesn't make any sense to me. Let's check another one. Bubble Mew. The Bubble Mew, same thing. 730. 710, 735, and then we'll go to tag. Did I do PSA again? Tag, May 11th, 736. That's on bids. 736, 810 in April, 1050. Buy it now. So, at or above, it's the same. Do your own research. Pick any card. I don't think Now, it may be going down now, but both PSA and tag are both going down right now. So make sure you check both cards, both slabs. PSA and the Blastoise, 275, 270, 280, right? And then same thing, tag, 275, May 19th. There's not nearly as many tag Blastoise. 225, May 20th. All right, that one's a little bit lower. I'll give them that on bids. 500. That was back in March. 375 on May 9th. 362 on March 6th. That's Japanese. And 350 on May 8th. So at or above, every single one of them. So take that with a grain of salt. You guys do whatever you want to do. For me, my next submission, which I'll prepare, and we'll do another video about my grading process, what I look at. I have about 15 or 20 cards I'm going to get ready to go. And then we'll go over it, and then we'll do a full submission. I'll show you how to do everything in tag, kind of what to expect, and then what I look at for my grading. So for me, to wrap up this video, if everything is equal, right, and if everything's equal based on comps off of eBay, you have a choice between PSA 65 business days, $19 a card at the lowest level, or tag at the lowest level, 45 business days and $15 a card. but the end result is they both sell for the same amount of money. It seems like a pretty easy choice to me. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be going with tag. I'm still going to submit some stuff to PSA. It just kind of depends, right? It kind of depends. There are people like the big cards, like maybe over $1,000. Your buyer pool gets a lot smaller at that level, and people may still want PSA for that. I still might try to do tag. I don't know. I don't have any $1,000+ cards, so that hasn't been a problem for me. I don't know if I'll be in that realm anytime soon. But I'll discuss it once that happens. So anyway, if you have any questions at all, leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious kind of where you guys are at with tag now that it's been a few months. Things have kind of starting to kind of get back on track. I'm curious what you guys think. And we'll see you next time. Thanks. Cheers.